Hello everyone, welcome to Jets TV. Please comment, rate, subscribe guys, comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. I also share the videos as well. I appreciate everyone that does watch and share my videos, man. You guys are awesome. So let's go ahead and get into my recap of my picks of the divisional round of the playoffs. So let's go ahead and get it started. First game I want to talk about, Ravens-Patriots. Took the Pats in this game, that got me a win. Ravens 31, Patriots 35. Early in this game, the Ravens got up by 14. Joe Flacco was playing pretty decently. He ended the day 28 of 45, 292 yards throwing the ball, 4 TDs, 2 bad interceptions. Jay Forsett ran the ball pretty decently, 24 carries, 129 yards. Steve Smith, he had a solid day as well. 3 catches for 44 yards. He had a TD. Torrey Smith was also played well as well. He had, 3 catches for 62 yards. But the resiliency of the Patriots is they just find ways to win, man. The run game was pretty much shut down for them. Bolden was the leading rusher for the Patriots. He had 3 carries for 7 yards. Just nothing. No type of ground game whatsoever. The Ravens were just shutting down the run game. So what do? You know what you do? You win where you can, and you give the ball to Tom Brady. That's what you do. The Patriots, you give the ball to Tom Brady, and you say, you know what, Tom, look, this run game is crap. We're going to give you the ball, and you're going to do what you do, and you're going to put us in a position to win. And that's exactly what he did. The Ravens were up by 14 twice in this game. No excuses for them not shutting out the game and closing out the game and winning. But as I said, the Patriots are so resilient, they were able to stay in the game. Even with Darrelle Revis getting a lot of the pass interference calls that he was getting, the Patriots were a bend but don't break. They were able to slow things down. They also, on the offensive end, they changed things up. One of the bigger plays that they got was a pass out to a wide receiver who we thought it was a bubble screen. That's what it looked like. It looked like a bubble screen, typical Patriot stuff. They run that all the time. Well, everyone crashes in on him. He brings the ball up, backs up, boom, bombs it downfield, and hits another wide receiver for a touchdown. It was a great trick play. You would never expect that coming from the Patriots. And it worked to perfection. And that got the Patriots rolling. That got them back in the game. And before you knew it, boom, they were ahead and the game was over. Joe Flacco actually threw an interception, on the following drive, trying to get the Ravens back into it, and that just closed the game out. Tom Brady was 33 of 50. He had 367 yards throwing the ball. He had 3 TDs. He also had 1 interception. Gronkowski played really well as well. He had 7 catches for 108 yards, and he had a TD. It's just Patriot football. Like I said, they just found a way to win. No run game. The defense wasn't playing all that well, especially Revis. But they just found a way to stay in the game. They found turnovers. Joe Flacco with those 2 interceptions. They just crawled back. They just don't stop, and that won them the game. So hats off to the Patriots. You got yourselves a win. I picked you, and that got me a win as well. Next game I want to talk about. Panthers, Seahawks. Panthers 17, Seahawks 31. I took the Seahawks in this game, and that got me a win. The Panthers were just flat out overmatched in this game. We can go on and on. Cam didn't look all that great. He was 22 of 36. He had 246 yards throwing the ball, 2 TDs, 2 bad interceptions. Stewart was the leading rusher, 13 carries for 70 yards. Kelvin Benjamin showed that he's Kelvin Benjamin. As I said before, when I was talking about the draft before he was drafted, I wish we would have drafted him, but we didn't. We passed up on him, and I knew it was going to bite us in the butt, and it has, because he showed up and he showed out. Kelvin Benjamin had 7 catches for 75 yards. He had 2 TDs, but that just wasn't enough. It was typical Seahawks football, typical Seahawks game. Stout defense. They don't let you go crazy. They beat you up really bad. And then, the offense just does just enough to, take care of it as well. Cam Chancellor also was able to run a turnover back for a touchdown as well in this game for the Seahawks defense, which really amped everybody else up. Richard Sherman had an interception as well. It was just Seahawks football. Russell Wilson, like I said, made plays. He played a very clean game. He was 15 of 22, 268 yards throwing the ball. He had 3 TDs, no interceptions. Marshawn Lynch had 14 carries for 59 yards. Curse Big time day from him. 3 catches, 129 yards, and a TD. I mean, it was just typical Seahawks football. The Carolina Panthers were not ready. You know, they probably shouldn't have even been in the playoffs to begin with, but whatever. You know, but whatever. And, you know, Seahawks took the game, and that's that. So, shout out to the Seahawks. You guys are moving on. I picked you guys. That got me a win. That got you a win as well. Like to think that when I pick teams, it helps them get a win, but whatever. So, next game. Cowboys, Packers. Took the Packers in this game. That got me a win. Oh, Cowboys 21, Packers 26. Man, let me tell you, we can talk about a lot of things from this game. The turnovers by DeMarco Murray. The turnovers by the Cowboys offense. The fact that Green Bay's defense was very, very, lackluster and shifty, but they did just enough to, hold the Cowboys on certain drives. There was a lot of stuff, again, with the refs. I feel like, the Cowboys linemen, I feel like, were holding. Aaron Rodgers was clearly stifled with that calf injury. He wasn't able to get around and be as mobile as he usually is. I felt like there were a lot of plays out there where if he was able to use his legs, he could have gotten some gains. But one of the big call in this game, which is crazy because last week the Lions got screwed over and the Cowboys were able to win off of a blown call. And a lot of people are saying that this week the Cowboys lost because of a blown call. Karma. Des Bryant caught a ball in the air. He comes down, takes a couple of steps. He goes to kind of reach out for the end zone. He's trying to reach out to get across the line for it to be a touchdown. The ball hits the ground. Packers challenge it and comes out to be that it's not a catch. Because you have to control the ball. Or if you jump in the air and you catch the ball, you have to control it all the way to the ground. And from the looks of the replay, and if you go by the rule, the actual rule that's in place in the NFL right now, that's not a catch. That's not a catch. And everybody wants to come out and say, oh, well, that common sense catch. Hey, look, if you go by the letter of the rule and you look at that replay, it's not a catch. It's just not a catch. And I'm not here, like I said, the Lions I felt like got screwed over last week. I'm not carrying that into this game. I'm not. I'm just telling you by the letter of the law, by that rule, that's not a catch by Des Bryant. It's not a catch. So it is what it is. Like I said, the Packers challenged that call. It got overturned, and it was Packers ball because that was the last play. It was on a 4th down. So it was what it was. Tony Romo played pretty solidly this game, 15-19, 191 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, nothing to write home about, but, it was solid. It was a solid effort from Romo. Murray had 25 carries, 123 yards. He had a TD. Like I said, he also had some fumbles in this game that really cost them. Witten was pretty solid as well. He had 6 catches for 71 yards. The Cowboys played pretty solidly. It wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't something crazy. I felt like if they didn't have as many turnovers, they would have had a better chance in this game, especially if they would have got Murray going a little bit earlier. They would have definitely they could have beat the Packers. They could have. But, hey, the Packers played their hardest, and they shut down a lot of different things, and they deserve to win this game. Aaron Rodgers was 24-35, 316 yards throwing the ball. He had 3 TDs. Eddie Lacy was a monster in this game, 19 carries, 101 yards. Adams, boy, this dude Adams is becoming more of a weapon every single week for the Green Bay Packers. He has really shown up. Guy out of Fresno State just plays extremely well. He had 7 catches, 117 yards and a TD. This is a rookie putting up numbers around here. So shout out to Adams. He showed up as well. And shout out to the Packers. You guys played hard, got yourselves a win. I chose you, and that got me a win as well. Last but not least, Colts, Broncos. I said the Broncos had too many weapons. I really thought the Broncos were going to win this game. I took them, and that got me a loss. Colts 24, Broncos 13. The Broncos offense just looked out of whack. Peyton Manning, and I said this in my last video for my picks, I was like, I don't believe that Peyton Manning is hurt. I don't believe that he's playing bad. I don't know what's really going on, But, you know, I think he'll just put it together in the playoffs. I was wrong, man. I was totally wrong. This offense looked terrible. Peyton Manning looked terrible. You know, it came out after the game, you know, that he has an injury in his leg, in his thigh. He has some type of tear in his upper thigh or something like that. But that doesn't matter. You know, you can't come out after you lose a playoff game and then say, oh, well, he's got this injury and that's why it really didn't matter. Peyton Manning looked terrible. He looked terrible in this game. He looked like he had no type of arm strength at all. Balls were sailing all over the place. He was inaccurate. And when he was accurate, or when he was throwing anywhere near a receiver, it was just either too high or just too much air under it. So when they caught it, they would almost get their heads taken off. Like it was just a bad game by Peyton Manning. He just didn't look good. Peyton was 26 of 46. He only had 211 yards throwing the ball, 1 TD. Anderson, you know, C.J. Anderson, their running back, he had 18 carries for 80 yards. Demarius Thomas looked terrible in this game. He was dropping balls as well. I mean, everything. He dropped a screen. He dropped a 5 and out. I mean, he looked like everything was off for the Broncos offense. Everything. Everything was bad. It was just one of those games where it's just like, what is going on over there? You know, Thomas only had 5 catches for 59 yards. He had 1 TD. Julius Thomas only had 6 catches for 53 yards. I mean, it just was a bad offensive output, you know, just a bad game all around by the Broncos. On the other hand, the Colts were cooking. Andrew Luck was 27 of 43. He had 265 yards throwing the ball. He had 2 TDs and two bad interceptions as well, but he was still rolling. Heron, you know, he had 23 carries for 63 yards. He had a TD as well. And for once, this guy did not fumble, you know. And I said this about Heron before. If he wants to be a big time running back in this league, he cannot fumble like he's been doing in the past and been crazy. He must have heard me because he's holding on to the rock and he's not letting it go this week. And so salute to this guy, man. Finally, no fumbles. T.Y. Hilton showed up, you know, T.Y. he showed up, 4 catches, 72 yards. You know, the Colts just got rolling. And the Broncos just look like trash, and that's it. You know, just a lot of things coming out from the Broncos as well. They fired John Fox, or well, they came to an agreement to split ways. Low key, they fired him pretty much, and you know, Peyton Manning, he doesn't know if he was gonna come back next year. That team might just get blown up with Demarius Thomas and Julius Thomas possibly facing free agency as well. There's going to be a lot of changes coming in Denver, especially with this loss, as bad as they look. So, you know, shout out to the Colts. You guys got yourselves a win. I took the Broncos, so that got me a loss. So that's it, guys. You know, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Tell me how you did in your picks as well. Please stay tuned for my picks for next week's playoffs. Super Bowl's coming up, baby. It's coming up. It's right around the corner, but we got to get these next week picks done. Let's see who gets to this bowl, all right? So thank you guys for watching. Peace.